In this video I'll be discussing how to re-zero the mechanism or bring the bass part back down to its original level as you would have received it. So this nut and the part have some travel to them, and as you've seen in the other video they all fit together like this with the nut fully threaded into the part. As you make your adjustments, naturally this bass is going to extend, as that is how this works. So if we keep turning, you'll notice the bass comes out of the part. Eventually you're going to want to stop, so you'll run out of room. And this is about where you're going to want to stop. So it'll be kind of obvious. The drum will start to lengthen in the bottom. You're not going to run into this if you use vector and strap. This is mainly something that you'll have to deal with if you use nylon, polyester, or even leather, especially if you have a high-pitched drum at around an E or something like that, where the leather is constantly going to be stretching. You may run into this scenario. And again, it's the exact same if you need to rehead the drum or anything like that. So the way this is done is to back all the tension out of the drum and pull the straps. You'll see what I mean by pulling back down to their original state. So let's just pretend this drum has reached the end of its travel, and I'll go through the steps of how to reset it. So the first thing you want to do is back all the tension out. And I'm losing pegs. So these pegs, you'll see, will just fall out because there's no more tension in them. It's very easy to remove everything. In that same method, the bottom nuts and all this strap is really easy to unwind. So we'll just pull all this strap out. And I like to rewind the strap when it's under low tension before I pull it up. If you try and thread all this strap around the bass at the end, it's more difficult. So this kind of allows you to shortcut that by pulling it all out while there's still very little tension on it. So this is also a good time to show you how the buckles work, generally speaking. And you should have one longer line with, you'll notice, a stiff end that's been tapered. That's to allow you to thread a new head. If you did the self-install kit, you should do this to your line. Any line you get that's not, well, even if it is leather. So cut it at an angle. Super glue works really well to stiffen the end. I usually like to stiffen up a good 2 inches of the line to guarantee that you can thread it through. Grab it on the other side with pliers and go around and thread it. If these holes here will not accept the line, you can usually force it through and grab the other side with a pair of pliers or something like that. There are other videos that show you how to do that. The lacing is done in a figure 8 style. It's really easy. It just takes a little bit of time to do, but there's no tension under it when you do this. So to zero, you'll notice the nut is all the way back out. I like to just go around and hold the drum by its own weight. So we're just going to start here and just pick it up. And you're going to do this all the way around. If you do it consistently, you should even be balancing it while you do this. Every drum is different, so you're going to notice that after you're finished with this, you'll probably have some high and low spots. And the way I like to take them out is just move a low into a high. And before, when you did that, you had to deal with a lot of tension, so it was a very difficult task. With this mechanism, it's just time consuming. It's not necessarily hard on your hands or difficult. You'll get really good at it, especially if you start to understand how your particular head is stretching. You'll notice what path it likes to stretch on, and you can compensate by adding additional force in that area. For example, one of the drums I just pulled up, I had to add a significant amount of tension, which would normally put it completely out of balance, but by the time it got up to pitch, it was right in balance. We might run into that today too. Let's see how this one performs. So I'm all the way out, and let's say we're getting rid of about this much slack. Nylon, you'll run into this at least once while your line stretches out. Once the line has completely stretched out, you shouldn't have to do this anymore. So now you'll notice at the end with the buckle here, I'm just working that buckle down to where I want it to live, which is usually down near the base here. So put the buckle where you want it, hold it with your thumb on the ring, and just work it back through the buckle like this. Tighten it up. So now you see all the lines are about equal tension. And at this point we can start putting the blocks back in. And balancing will commence after that. So I like to go with the first understrap, block in, and just go all the way around. There's no need to do any special pattern, since the drum is balancing itself as you do this. Just going around the normal way is just fine. So I'm going to all the understraps, putting in the block, and now we'll go to 2. The tabla is the most balanced on 2 straps, and with this TransTabla system you can keep it on 2 straps for the life of the drum. This is a fairly large head. I think this is a 5 3/4. So we shouldn't have to go very tight before it starts making some sound. Again, make sure your wrench is fully engaged and just start turning. Again, keep that football grip. Just go around until you feel some resistance. Here's our low. See if it'll knock out easy. Here's our low. Okay, so we're basically in tune, and now you can see where the out of balance spots are. So it's these two, and it's going to be these two. So even though it sounds okay, we know that this is the out of balance parts. Luckily these are right by the buckles. You're usually going to find this. So at this point, back the tension out and redisperse this tension. It doesn't take much, just move a little bit of the line into the high area and back the nut out a little bit to do that, then pull it back up. Your particular drum might take a little more balancing than others. If you order one complete from me, I'll balance it for you, and it should be in balance when you get it, and stay like that, especially if you get the Vectron. That's really all there is to it. Now your mechanism is 0. You can see here it's back down to where it looks like the tabla you're used to. And again, about 1/10 of an inch is all that's necessary to move full steps, so it should hang out here for quite a while. If you use polyester or nylon, once you're done with that initial stretch out, it should stretch a lot less. So hope this helped.